Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important topic for Angular, signals, that are lazy computing signal. Okay, although this is a by default nature of a signal, but here we will discuss like how we can create an example to understand the concept of lazy loading. Not lazy loading, I would say, because lazy loading is a different topic in Angular. Here we are talking about the lazy computing. Okay, that means the signal will compute the things only if it is needed, not every time. Okay, so this thing we will discuss, we will be discussing in this particular session. But before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use signal for creating the lazy computing effect. Okay, fine. So let's just get started. So firstly, what we will do here, we will create some signals, and on the basis of that signal we will try to implement the concept of lazy computing. Okay, so now I'm going to now let's go to app.component.ts file. Okay, now on this app.component.ts file we are going to create some signals, and to explain this thing in a simpler way, what we will do, we will take one real world example. So suppose there is a coffee shop. Okay, now in that coffee shop there is a machine which owner is using for calculating the amount of coffee powder needed for a coffee. Okay, and we all know that machine is needed only when the customer arrives. So suppose if there are 5 customers, so what we will do, we will put the number of person as 5. It will calculate the powder amount and tell the owner, right? But what if it is repeating again and again without even a need? So in that case it is not needed, right? So you can relate this thing with a lazy computing effect, that it will process the thing only if it will compute the things only if it is needed. If it is not needed, it will simply skip it. Okay, it will not process it. Okay, so you can relate the same thing with the lazy computed signal for powder calculation, coffee powder calculation. So let's do it practically. So here what I'll do, firstly I'll define one signal with the name cups. Okay, so here I will write cups equals signal 1 semicolon. Okay, so this is the signal that we have defined to hold the number of cups. So let me put the comment also so that you can easily identify it. Signal to hold the number of cups. Okay, now next thing is we will define one computed signal. So this is a normal signal, and we all know that using a normal means writable signal. So whenever we want to, here you can see it's a writable signal. Okay, so we want to create a computed signal. So here I will put another comment. Here we will write lazy computed signal for powder calculations. Now we will simply write here powder equal computed, and inside this we will write another parenthesis. Then we will use arrow symbol, and then we will use curly braces. Okay, so here we have extra. Okay, now here we will use curly braces. So inside this what we will do, we will just simply print one thing, that console.log here we will write console.log, and inside this we will print one message, recomputing. Okay, recomputing dot. Okay, this is ready. Now what we will do, we will simply return the value after a calculation. So here we will write return this dot cups. So what basically we are calculating here, we are calculating the amount of coffee powder needed. Okay, so this dot cups into 10, which means 10 grams per cup. 10 grams of coffee powder per cup. So basically here we are just taking a real world example, that's why we are writing all these things. Okay, so what this function will do, it will calculate the number, the gram of coffee needed for per cup. Okay, now we have created this thing. Now on a screen also we need some buttons, right, to process this thing and to show the amount, right? So for that, let's go to app.component.ts file, not ts, HTML file. Here we will define another heading which will show Angular signals and Angular signals demo lazy computed. Okay, lazy computed. Then we will write here label just to show the text, and in this we will write enter number of cups. So what basically we are asking user, to put some amount of number of person for which we want to calculate the powder, right? So here we will write type equal number. Here we will write value cups. Here we will bind it with input. So I'll simply write here cups dot set parenthesis, inside this parenthesis $ne, not at the rate, it should be $ne $event dot target dot value. Here we will write dot value. I think one parenthesis is missing here, but no problem, we will make sure to add that as well. Okay, so value, and then we have mentioned here cups because it is a signal, so we are using this parenthesis. Then input equal cups dot set, then parenthesis $ne, then again. Okay, so here we made a mistake, it should be parenthesis, not a curly braces. Alright, so we need to change it. Fine, I think now we are good. So here $ne, I'll tell you what we are doing here, $event dot target dot value, and then we have closed the input with a slash. Okay, so this thing is ready. What it is showing, it is showing cups does not exist on app component. Let's check. Yeah, so this is a case sensitive thing, right? So we need to make it as capital C because there we have declared with a capital C. Fine, so this part is ready. After that we will just print the value because we want to print it, right? So here what we will do, we will write total coffee powder needed, then colon, double curly braces, then powder parenthesis, and after that we will write here grams. Okay, now save it. So just save it and run the application. So here we will write ng serve -- open and enter. So it will take few seconds and then it will run the application. Fine, application is executed. Now right click on the inspect and go for console. So here you can see one time recomputing is printed because by default it is taking 1. Now as soon as I change the value of this number of cups, it will automatically recompute the things. This is called lazy, means right now you can see it is computed only one time, but it is not repeating it, right? The moment when I change the something, then only it is required to be compute, right? So in that case only it will compute the things. So let's say I make it as 10. So once I make it 10, you can see recomputing is added. Similarly 101, 102, whatever value you will write, accordingly it will calculate the grams of coffee needed, and then it will process the recomputing part. So this concept is called as lazy computing, because here we are just computing the things only when it is needed. We are not computing it every time. Okay, so this is just a concept of Angular computed signal. So I hope this part is clear to all of you. And regarding this line, I'm sure like some of you might be thinking like what exactly we are doing here. So here like when the user types something in the input field, so this line takes the this line takes that value and updates the cup signal with it. Okay, so this is just for taking the value and for updating the cups signal. So yeah, that's all for today. I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.